Princess of Wales, the 1st of July 1961 to the 31st of August 1997, was an iconic figure of the late 20th century. She epitomized feminine beauty and glamour. At the same time, she was admired for her groundbreaking charity work, in particular, her work with AIDS patients and supporting the campaign for banning landmines. Married to Prince Charles in 1981, she received the title of Her Royal Highness Princess Diana of Wales. She is the mother of Prince William and Prince Harry, second and third in line to the throne respectively. During her life she was often said to be the most photographed person in the world, appearing on the cover of People magazine more than anyone else.
Diana was born to an aristocratic family with links to the royal family. Her father was Edward Spencer, Viscount Althorp. Edward Spencer was a direct descendant of Charles II. Her mother was Frances Viscountess Althorp and was distantly related with the Queen Mother. She was also of American descent. When Diana was young, her parents divorced, with her father winning a bitter battle for custody of the children. Diana grew up in the family home of Park House, before moving to Althorp in 1975. Diana was educated at Riddlesworth Hall Boarding School, before spending several years at Westheath Public School in Kent. Here she did very well in sport, especially swimming. She had aspirations to become a ballet dancer, but at 5 feet 8 was deemed to be too tall. On the academic front, Diana was not bright and eventually failed all her O-levels, but despite academic difficulties, later recalled happy memories from her childhood years. After leaving the school, she got a job as a nanny and part-time cook. Later she took an assistant teaching post at a kindergarten school in Knightsbridge, London. Diana first met Charles, Princess of Wales, in 1977, when she was 16, at the time he was dating her sister. In 1980, they met at a polo game and Charles invited her to the Royal Yacht Britannia in Cowes. After this was successful and they got on well, he invited her to Balmoral to meet the Queen Mother and the Duke of Edinburgh. The Queen and Duke of Edinburgh were increasingly anxious for Charles to marry. With Diana meeting all the necessary requirements for a potential bride of the future king, the Duke of Edinburgh encouraged Charles to make a commitment. Charles proposed on 6 February 1981 and it was made official on 24 February 1981.
However, in the mid-1980s, strains started to appear in the marriage, and under much publicity, the marriage broke up, leading to a divorce in 1992. Diana later said in interviews that almost as soon as they were married, Charles was in contact with Camilla Parker Bowles and it was difficult to have a marriage with 3 people in it. She also said Charles only married her under pressure from his father to get married to a suitable bride sooner rather than later. After she knew Charles was being unfaithful, she began having different affairs herself, including with Captain Hewitt, whom she adored.
As Princess of Wales, Diana was expected to take part in various official Diana engagements, such as the opening of hospitals. This provided a natural outlet for her to become involved in various types of charitable work. Her natural sympathy and oneness with patients was much admired. In 1987, Princess Diana was one of the first well-known celebrities to be photographed with a victim of AIDS. This was important in changing attitudes to the disease. At the time, many thought the disease could be contacted by touch alone. This was documented by Andrew Morton, whose biography, Diana, Her True Story, was written with her tacit approval. After their official divorce on 28 August 1996, she received a reported $30 million settlement with equal access to her children. She was no longer able to use the title, Her Royal Highness, but could keep the title, Princess. In a BBC Panorama interview the year before, November 1995, she said her preference was to be Queen of People's Hearts. In June 1998, she sold 79 of her dresses at Christie's auction house in New York, raising $4.5 million for AIDS and cancer research charities. She also became involved in the campaign to ban landmines. In January 1997, she visited minefields in Angola to inspect the clearing of landmines, and this had a lasting impact on her. Her personal support is said to have been a significant factor in encouraging Britain and then other countries to support the Ottawa Treaty, which sought to introduce a ban on the use of anti-personnel landmines. Shortly before her death, June 18, Princess Diana met with Mother Teresa. Both admired each other. Mother Teresa always said, "Diana is my daughter." With utmost humility, Diana said, "I am a very, very small Mother Teresa." Despite the pervasive press intrusions into her private life, Diana remained very popular because people could identify with her. Her hands-on approach to charity work gave the impression of a new type of royal, who was no longer so remote. Diana died on the 31st of August 1997, in a car crash involving Dodi Al-Fayed in Paris. It was said they were being chased by paparazzi at the time the fatal accident occurred. The inquest noted that the driver was also under the influence of drugs and drink. Controversy still surrounds her death, with inquests failing to satisfy all parties. The death of Diana had a profound impact on the British public and those in other countries. It led to an unprecedented outpouring of grief and sympathy. Over 1 million bouquets of flowers were laid at Buckingham Palace. Her funeral was watched by countless millions around the world. Her final resting place was at an island on her family home of Althorpe.